going to be a new video series for the channel, and I'm going to kick it off with the month of May. So any item, beauty tool, makeup, skincare, it can even be fashion. If it was provided to me by a brand or I purchased it myself and I have not already provided a dedicated video for that item, here is where I can give you my feedback. So in case you're interested in anything, you'll know my thoughts. And it's not always going to be something that is new. It's just me actually getting my hands on it. I'm going to first start off with the foundation. This is CoverFx Power Play Foundation. Now I am in the shade G90 and I did receive a sample from Sephora. The first couple times I wore it, it just was what I would consider a drier formula. Now it wasn't as dry and was acting out like the NARS foundation was, where my face was literally overcompensating the dryness by producing a lot of oil. It didn't do that. That I remember. I feel it is best suited perhaps for oilier skin, combination skin, which is probably its overall intent to begin with. But when you have normal skin that is leaning more towards dry skin, and I'm just going to speak for myself, but I'm sure people with dry skin would agree, we don't want to look so matte and flat and our skin is feeling uncomfortable and dry. Even though it didn't do that, I just was not happy to put it on, and I wasn't again so eager to make a review because I didn't want to put it back on my face, film it, and all that. So I'm going to say no. It's not a foundation that I certainly am not going to pick up a full size, but it's just, I'm not impressed with it. My next item is a beauty tool. Now this is from Ecotools, and I do enjoy Ecotools sponges, and I also enjoy a couple of their brushes as well. This is their Perfecting Cushion Blender, and this was actually a mistake. I thought this was going to be another sponge. I had no idea it was the cushion. I just was not paying attention when I ordered it online. And it says it's best with cushion compacts for a dewy, fresh glow. Now I do enjoy my cushions, so I go, okay, I'll go ahead and use it with that. Now on the back of the packaging, it states to use the sponge dry. This is the container that it comes in. You're going to go in with the bottom portion of it and just press into the compact. That's kind of what I did, and then start pressing and patting it into your skin. My first initial reaction with this sponge is, first off, just from a dry perspective, it's not as bouncy, of course, as it would be if it was wet. What it did is it provides a lot of coverage to the skin. With the cushion that I just showed you, I mean, it was going on like it was foundation, like a full coverage foundation, instead of giving me that dewy look that I wanted. So that was my first initial reaction. I was like, this is too much. This is too much. So let me go ahead and just wet it and see what would happen. So after I applied it on, I went ahead and I wet it and applied it, and it kind of, you know, took away, sheared out some more of the foundation, and then I liked it like that. Now everything would have been fine and I would still use this sponge, but I would use it wet instead of dry. The problem is when I went to wash this, I'm not hard with my sponges at all, but I just started to clean it and then it just ripped in half. I mean, I don't have long nails. I was not even using a harsh chemical cleanser. I was just using actually the Beauty Blender solid cleanser. There should be no reason that this sponge split like that. The quality of that sponge is not there. It should not split in half on the very first washing. I can't even return it, so I'm out of money. I have another sponge. Now this one I didn't even try because of the sheer fact of the actual material. This is E.L.F's On Point Concealing and Blending Sponge. Look at it, looks all mangled. Let me take this out. No, the material is not like a like a traditional sponge, like a beauty blender, of course, or even Real Techniques. If it was like Real Techniques material, I can let it slide. But this material is just, I can already tell it's hard. I don't even know what it's even made of. What's it say on the box? Of course, there's nothing on here that says it. I did wet it and it grew a little bit, and then I'm like, no, I'm not even gonna deal with this. It's inexpensive because it's E.L.F, but I can already tell by this material, it's just not going to work. It's not going to jive with me. This is from CoverGirl. This came in the CoverGirl box that they had sent me. I actually have a couple of other products to talk about. This is the Vitalist Healthy Concealer. So it's in a click pen as well. CoverGirl is notorious for calling something deep, and then the deep is something that would fit somebody who is like a fair skin tone. Another thing is there is no shade name anywhere on the package. Absolutely nowhere on the package. And it was hard for me to even figure out which shade was deep because I put them all together and I'm like, okay, I think this is the darkest light color. So I think that one is deep. Was I surprised how it just blended into my skin? I was shocked. I would recommend skin tones that are like the darker tan down to my skin tone, medium dark. Anything below me, this is going to just look ashy on your skin, so I would not recommend it. Again, that's if you like those click style pens. This one's going to offer a sheer coverage as well. I'm going to continue to use it because I have it. And I also feel that I'm going to use it up quick because I think it's only this small amount right there. So, but it's not something I am going to, after I'm done with it, run out and purchase. Also from CoverGirl is their Vitalist Glow Lotion. This is their Luminizing Lotion with vitamins E, B3, and B5. So I have both of the shades that they come in. This shade is Sunkissed, which is the deeper shade, which would go for my skin tone. And then this one is Daybreak. So if you are pale, fair skin, then this would be your recommended shade. I did not like these at all. With CoverGirl's Glow Lotion, it actually leaves a lot more of like a shimmer particles on the skin. I can see them, and we're talking not even close up. They're very highly visible on the skin, whether it's the lighter color or the darker color. And that is not something I don't want. I don't want just glitter all over my face. I do wish the CoverGirl version was like the L'Oreal version in the sense that it would be just that one with the skin glow. L'Oreal's doesn't have a lot of shimmer in it. I mean, it's just hardly noticeable. They did a great job with the formula. With the CoverGirl one, it's heavy shimmer. It's very noticeable on the skin. And I feel for the face, it's not my preference. I have another item from their Vitalist collection. This is their Healthy Powder, and this is in the shade Warm Beige. Same with the concealer. The powder shades are very limited. They have very light ones for fair skin tones, and then Warm Beige is the darkest. This is the darkest shade. So it's, again, not offering enough coverage as far as skin tones is concerned. When I first looked at Warm Beige, I immediately thought of my MAC shaping powder. Now the shaping powder has, I would say, more of a peach undertone to it, but it does have that orange base, that warm tone as well. These are great to provide that subtle glow underneath your eyes. They come in multiple shades, so depending on your skin tone, and again, for my skin tone, this shade is the best. What shade is it? The shade name is not coming to me right now. I don't know why. And yeah, that's all warped in the back. I'll have it on the screen. I tried this on my face for underneath my eyes and it blended out perfect. It just provides that slight, subtle brightening effect on the skin, and I like that. It doesn't appear cakey. It doesn't appear like it's too much. The second time I used this, I remember I was actually in a hurry and I applied it underneath my eyes and I went off to go do something else and I wasn't even trying to bake. And then when I came back to the mirror, I said, oh my goodness, I forgot I had this powder on. So I brushed it away and I noticed that it was kind of just going into lines underneath my eyes, and usually powder does not get into my concealer. Like my concealer does not crease. So I just would not recommend baking with this. But if you are my skin tone, you're looking for like an orange tone powder, something along that pressed format, of course, for underneath your eyes. I can even get away with using this all over my face because it's a subtle color. It's not like a strong ashy tone because it is light. We found one thing from the Vitalist line that I am actually pleased with, and then we're going to close it out with CoverGirl with their setting spray. This is their Look Lockup All Day Setting Mist. Now, this setting mist is a fine mist spray. The mist on this reminds me of the Morphe setting spray. It's not a lot of noise when you spray it out. I have the microphone right here. Let's see if you can hear it. See, it's just like that. And the smell is, I would say, a slight cucumber scent. It's actually quite pleasant. I really didn't notice anything just spectacular with this setting spray. I have to be honest with that. It just reminds me of a lot of my other setting sprays that I already have. So it's not something I would necessarily run out and get, because of course I have actually quite a bit of setting sprays, but they're actually my setting sprays that I love and I enjoy, so I just rotate through them. But this isn't something that I would have picked up on my own unless, of course, it was given to me. But it's really just nothing spectacular about it. Now, I did check the ingredients up against my own ingredients for, let's say, a couple of other sprays that I have that I really enjoy, and I do notice there are some differences in the actual ingredients. So I don't know, how, what's the word? Just how effective that is. But overall, it's a pleasant smell. It's a great mist, and it's very easy to dry if you want to just set it, or you can use your fan. But if you ask me, oh, is that a setting spray to run out to get? No, I would recommend my other setting sprays that I currently have over that one from CoverGirl. This is Lancôme's Matte Stick Foundation, and I am in the color 460 Suede W. That is actually my color in most of their foundations with the brand. And I have to admit, I hear the word matte, and I'm thinking, why am I trying a foundation stick that has matte in the title? It's probably going to be really dry, but I was curious about it because of all the good reviews on Sephora. So she, the associate there, gave me a pretty good size sample. I mean, she just sliced that stick in half, it seems, and I mean, it just goes onto my skin. It glides on. It offers good coverage. I would say the coverage for the Lancôme Matte Stick Foundation is a medium coverage. I am not trying to put layer after layer on to try and see if I can build it to full. I like to do my first initial layer, really spread and buff it into my skin. Then I go into any other imperfections and try to help cover that with the foundation, and then of course see if I need to pull in additional concealer. And that foundation did a good job at just really getting up there to covering up, let's say, a blemish or a dark mark. It wasn't 100% covered, but I felt comfortable with it. I like the texture of that foundation stick as well. It's not like drying. Now again, I'm putting it on with a different tool, so I'm not kind of swiping it from the applicator, so I'm not sure if it like tugs, but it's a good foundation stick in the sense of, even though it has matte in the title, I'm glad I wasn't scared off by that word. It's not drying, but then it's not too hydrating. It just probably is just right in that nice healthy balance. So I'm very impressed with that that sample. I am going to finish up that sample, and I'm going to kind of think in my mind, is this something that I can see myself picking up a full size and adding it to my foundation stick collection. Luckily, I don't have a ton of foundation sticks, so I mean, I have room, but again, I'm really kind of, I'm judging it and seeing, is it something I'm looking at as far as full size, and so far, I do like it. Another foundation stick. Okay, we went high-end. Now we're going to the drugstore. This is from Makeup Revolution. So this is actually a newer product. This is their Fast Base Foundation Stick. F13 is my exact skin tone color. It just blends right into my skin. Next would be the texture. This is not a foundation stick where it was tugging when I was applying it, and it blends out just wonderful on my skin. This is also a stick foundation where I feel the coverage is up to a medium. I don't see it building up to, we're talking full on coverage, but I am pleased with the overall finish of this foundation. It's not caking up, it's not bunching up, it's not clinging to dry patches. I was quite impressed with it. The next Makeup Revolution item that I got with the foundation stick, because they were having a sale, this is their Pearl Lights Loose Highlighter, and this is in the shade Candle. It's a Candle? Candy Glow, excuse me. Now this has more of that deeper, rich bronze gold shade, like a copper shade. It also reminds me of Le Bronze. That's exactly what it reminds me of, the Jackie Aina Artist Couture. But when I was playing with it, when I got home, applying it onto my skin, it doesn't offer that high shine that I personally am looking for, and it doesn't offer that reflective property. I did apply this onto my cheeks for today's video, and then I put Le Bronze on top of it because I put this on and I was like, it's just not giving me what I want to see. And then I put Le Bronze on. I was like, oh yeah, Le Bronze is giving me what I want. So I'm going to stick with Le Bronze, and I'm not satisfied with that color. Now this product I have, it's a little fashion, it's accessory, it's a sunglasses. This is from the brand MVMT. This is their case that it comes in. Now this is odd for me because first off, I never talk about fashion and accessories on the channel. I think I did one video way back in the day on sunglasses. Sunglasses is not something where, you know, we all have something that we probably have a ton of. Like you may have a ton of lipsticks or a ton of this or watches. Sunglasses is not something that I buy in bulk or I keep around because I always lose them. And I'm very hard on my sunglasses. So I'm the user that I put them on and then I just, like, I rip them off my head, and I don't even mean to do that, but it just happens. And so let's say we're at a table, I'll rip them off and I just go bang onto the table. And then I always lose them. They're either left behind. I've had some where I put in my shirt and then it's fallen in the toilet. When it's flushed, it's gone. So first off, I never spend a lot of money on shades, sunglasses, because I know I'm going to lose it or it's gone. So I'm wasting money. I guess it's a little embarrassing. But the shades that I've had since last August are, we went to the concert in the park for the summer. So in August, they gave us shades because it was so sunny. So these have been my shades that I've kept in the car. I mean, even says the city that I live in. They're all a little bit scratched up. But I mean, hey, they work when I drive or when I'm out and about. So I'm walking around like this is what I've had for almost a year. The concert in the park shades, you know, the makeup gets on and I just have cleaned it off. I just don't care. But I cared when my son was in the car with me and I put these on and he looked at me and he said, when are you going to buy some new shades? And I said to myself, I guess I gotta get some no more concert in the park shades. So that's why I just decided to go ahead and select these from my Octoly store. So the brand did send them to me complimentary. They retail for $75. I would not have paid $75 for sunglasses because that's $75 down the drain in probably a week or two. Now, I like these because they're cat eye, and I do like the cat eye shape. Even if I didn't have the head for it, I could care less. Only because they're big enough up here to kind of cover this area as I'm driving or I'm walking around because I don't want the rays, you know, getting all in there. So I do like how it has that, just like my concert in the park shades had that little bit of a cat eye as well. I love the color because I'm all about black, my black life. I was almost about to say the hashtag, but YouTube will probably flag it. And I also like the fact is the glare here. Like I can actually see through the glare here. It's UV 100% protected, but I can see when I drive because I am blind. I wear contacts, and it's very important to me that with shades are on, it's still lit up so I can see when I'm driving or I'm seeing when I'm walking. I have kind of ripped them off already. I have kind of, you know, set them on the table a little bit hard. None of that has changed. And I noticed they still look the same. They're not scratched up yet. They've stayed intact. The little bolts that are inside of here and all of this steel that surrounds it, because I was reading up on the shades, they're German made, so they're probably going to stay nice and intact for quite some time. The fact that they have not scratched, I've dropped them already. That's another thing too. I don't keep the case in my purse, so I take them off and I just throw them in the purse. And like I said, I haven't broken, they haven't gotten scratched, nothing. So they're still intact. And I've used them for a full month, and they still look the same as if I took them out of the case. So, you know, it's going to be a personal preference. Hate to say it like that. I wouldn't spend $75 because I'm used to spending $3 or $5 is what I'm used to doing. But I would be afraid of losing these. But if you're someone where, you know, that is not an issue, you take care of your cases, maybe you carry this with you, maybe you're good, you put them back in there like I know I should. You know, you just take care of your accessories, then maybe $75 is worth it to you. Another Octoly item that I was given is from the brand Kevyn Aucoin. Now, I've actually reviewed quite a few of his products already. This is from their Neo line. So they have like the Neo highlighters, Neo this, Neo that. This is their Neo-Elixir. It's their weightless beauty oil. Now, this is a beauty oil that looks like a makeup remover, you know, that is separated like this. So you do need to shake it up, and it's got some healthy ingredients inside, but I like the fact that castor seed oil is up there as well. That is an oil that works great on my skin. So that was something that intrigued me when I was reading the ingredients. The dispenser for the oil is also something that is quite intriguing. Now it has the little push down, you push it up, and that will have the oil in it. But I just want to really show you the applicator. I'm going to do some close-up shots. It has this tip that is bent, and I like that because it really helps control the amount of the oil that is coming out. See, with Kevyn Aucoin, they think of stuff. They think of like, let's just do it this way so it makes it easier for the customer. Let's do it that way so it just makes sense. That's something I've noticed about them, and I actually like that. Now, I used the whole amount that you saw, the up close of all that oil, and that was much too much oil for me. Now again, I have normal to dry skin. If you have dry skin, I recommend to use all of that. Your skin will just drink it up. Oily skin, I recommend you barely pop out, just like one drop. Let that one drop, warm it up in your hands, put it on your skin, and I mean, it spreads and it just sinks right in. The oil is very lightweight. It's not something where you are going to feel it on your skin. It does not give off a greasy appearance at all. And there's multiple uses for this oil. Now, I've used it in my foundation. We're talking a little bit of oil. So you can use it like that to give off that glow, but there's no shimmer in here. There's none of that. It's the actual ingredients and this slight, and we're talking like a slight tint because of that like light baby pink in there that's giving that look on the skin. But I mean, it's so subtle. It's like, it's not even noticeable. Also, what I've done is on bare skin, and this is actually what I like best, is on bare skin to apply it just to like the cheeks, and that's it. Tap it in, and you have that natural, just that, you know, flush on your skin, that glow, completely natural, and all it is oil. don't use a lot if you want to try that method. And then I do like this as just an overall primer type. Just put it onto my skin like I would for my creams, my moisture lotions. I've used this with Fenty. It's worked perfect, just like I was using the Aqua Bomb. So just the right amount comes out of that dispenser. Press and pat it into my skin, apply my products that way. That is actually how I like to use it. Only needs so much, like just the tiniest amount, that this should last quite some time. I don't even know when this is going to be an empty for me, but it's a nice oil. Read up on it. The link is in the info box. See if it might be something you might be interested in, but it was intriguing to me, and I'm actually glad that, you know, I was able to get that, to check it out. Last item, the red light is flashing. Let me see if I can get through this quickly. Last is going to be from Pixi. Now, I do receive products from Pixi, from Pixi by Petra from time to time. These eyeliners, let me tell you, Endless Silky Eyeliner Pencils are wonderful from this brand. My first one was just their regular black tone, and I just received it in a subscription box, and I've always liked that eyeliner. I can tight line with it and it won't smudge. I can put it into my waterline, set it with, for example, with powder, and it doesn't smear, it doesn't run, doesn't flake off. It's a good liner pencil. Now they have these new ones that are in the jewel tones, just different colors. I think I'm missing a color, but I just stuck these in here. This is purple. This is this beautiful royal blue, and then this one is like a rose gold shade. And I think I have, yes, I have one more, which is actually what I have on in my waterline. It's like it's not shimmer. It's like a muted, like a rose gold, but it's got more brown attached to it. Oh, so pretty. So beautiful. You know what it reminds me of? Fiona Styles' Mulholland Drive. That's what it reminds me of, but it's a little bit deeper. And that Mulholland Drive is so hard to get a hold of right now that it's nice that, ooh, I have a Pixi one now, and that can kind of be its replacement when I'm done with it. These are just great liners. They just work good. They don't irritate my eyes, and I'm really happy to see them come out with jewel tones, because I love these colors. They just look beautiful with all type of eyeshadow looks. Colors, neutrals, pop it up, put on your lower lash line, and go to town. And they also smudge out. You can smudge it out and then it's set. So those are good. I'm very pleased. That is everything that I was playing around with for the month of May. I purchased or was given to me in PR. And those are just my little mini reviews. So this is very helpful in the aspect of, since I wasn't able to make a dedicated review, at least I can kind of give you my thoughts right now in the event that any of this is stuff that you've been looking at and were thinking about picking up. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to engage with you. Thank you very much for stopping by and watching. I need to hurry up before it turns off the red light. Have a wonderful day or evening. And as always, I'm going to see you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.